It's a delight to see their faces. It's optional in my school, so some people wear it, some people don't. And we can't ask why people wear it.
Why not?
Because it can make them feel bad.
I'm conflicted. I'm glad. I think it's better for them to see people's faces. It sort of feels normal to us. At the same time, you know, we had COVID in December, and we won't have it. We won't have the antibodies in theory starting after spring break. So I'd rather not go through it again.
It's a really exciting day, and I'm glad that it's finally here. It's been 2 years of being masked, and it's a really good feeling. We're really happy.
Fun, but it might not be safe.
I feel much better after 2 years of wearing mask. We feel very good now.
It's fine. They want to do it in restaurants, it's fine. So I'll just be cautious till I sit down, that's all. But I think it's fabulous.
The mask I'm getting a little more comfortable with, but the vaccine status always made me feel more comfortable. Yeah, knowing full well that the people around me were, vaccinated, and I didn't have to worry as much.
Хотели бы вновь подчеркнуть, что опасность для мирных жителей на Украине представляет...
We once again wish to emphasize that safety for civilians in Ukraine is not a problem for Russians, because we're not bombarding them, but rather Ukrainian radicals and neo-Nazis who are holding hostage whole towns and cities and are making use of civilians as a human shield, not allowing them to leave town.
Another appalling example of Russia's disregard of its own commitments on humanitarian corridors has taken place. Russian side has already sent us a letter with routes to Russia and Belarus only. I call on the Russian side to reverse to the previously agreed routes to allow Ukrainian and foreign citizens to leave for Europe.
The parties need to take constant care to spare civilians and civilian homes and infrastructure in their military operations. This includes allowing safe passage for civilians to leave areas of active hostilities on a voluntary basis in the direction they choose. We need safe passage for humanitarian supplies into areas of active hostilities. Civilians in places like Mariupol, Kharkiv, Melitopol, and elsewhere desperately need aid, especially life-saving medical supplies.
We need Russia's firm, clear, public, and unequivocal commitment to allow and facilitate immediate, unhindered humanitarian access for humanitarian partners in Ukraine. Hospitals are running out of supplies, food is dwindling, and civilian casualties are mounting, while the most vulnerable group, those with disabilities, the elderly, children, continue to bear the brunt of suffering.
What we believe is happening as the Russians continue to get frustrated and slowed down, and they really haven't made any noteworthy progress in the last few days, with the exception of down south. In the south, they continue to have some progress, but up in the north and northeast. What we assess is as they continue to get frustrated, they continue to rely now more on what we would call long-range fires. So this is bombardment, missile strikes, long-range artillery into city centers that they aren't in yet, at least not on the ground in any significant number. So we're seeing that. And of course, that has been leading to, and as you would expect it would, when you're relying more on long-range fires, you're gonna cause more damage. And you're going to kill more people and injure more people, and so that's what we think is happening. That's what we're seeing them do, and we think it's because again they have not been able to make up for the lost time that they continue to suffer from on the ground in terms of the advancement of ground forces. The bottom line is more civilians are being killed and wounded. More civilian infrastructure is being damaged or destroyed, and Mr. Putin still has a choice here. not to escalate, not to be more aggressive in the use of these long-range fires and his capabilities, but to find a diplomatic path forward and to end the invasion.
Tens of thousands of Australians have fled their homes as flood warnings stretch across the country's east coast. Torrential rains have pummeled the country's largest city, Sydney, flooding the streets of several large suburbs. Nearly 24 people have been reported dead since floods in Australia began late last month. Local authorities said Tuesday a 67-year-old woman and her 34-year-old son in Western Sydney were found dead near an abandoned car in a stormwater canal. New South Wales Emergency Service Commissioner Carleen York called the flooding unprecedented.
I think what's happening I know what's happening in this event is people make decisions based on past history, and I think this event has shown that there is no past history similar to this event.
While Bureau of Meteorology forecaster Dean Naramore said more flooding was expected from Queensland to Victoria.
A tough 24 hours or even 48 hours ahead, and even if the rain does stop on Wednesday and Thursday, which it will, there's still a lot of water in these rivers.
Australia's eastern rivers were already near capacity, following record downpours in several parts of Queensland and New South Wales states over recent weeks. Those rains cut off entire towns, swept away farms and livestock, and shut down power for countless residents. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has ordered further emergency personnel to flood-hit areas.